Welcome to the Success Journey Show. Let's travel together through the lives of individuals on the road to success.
All right, here we go. Hey, what's going on, traveler? This is Ricky Ventures and Marlon Madden, and we are back with you again for another episode of the Success Journey Show. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Marlon, how you doing today, man?
Well, my knee is still in the same state, but I'm learning to live with it a little bit better. Hopefully I'll be back. The doctor is saying, I have to go back for 2 weeks for a checkup and see what we have to do with it. And we did some x-rays and all these different kind of tests. So I'll see what's going on with it. And when I can get back on the court, you know me, I can't stay away from the court too long. So I'll see how it works out. But other than that, the family's good. How almost spring break for a lot of people. How are you and your household doing?
Oh man, we're doing good, dude. Good, dude. Doing well, man. Yeah, spring break around the corner. Spring break don't even really mean nothing.
Yeah.
These kids already being home and stuff. And
correct.
My oldest son, he's home. A case broke out in his school, and they had him stay home in quarantine for 10 days. The whole middle school, actually. So, he's home with me. Everybody else is back out at work and everything. So it's work and school. So, it's good, man. It's really good. The weather's getting warmer around here, which is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say too, man. My kids, they are, they always fluctuate back and forth with different toys that they play with and everything. So we thought they had gone out of a phase of what they call Beyblades. Yeah. So they, recently, bought some more, but, all their Beyblade stuff that they have, we packed away in storage because they weren't playing with it. So we're like, oh, they're not going to need this. Put it in storage. And when we move to the new house, then, hey, they'll be able to get to it. So they have no stadiums, none of that, none of their stuff, none of their things. So they're ordering everything again. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, they didn't have a stadium. So they had to make up ways to play with their Beyblades that, for stadiums and all that kind of stuff. For those that don't know about stadiums, it's just little the plastic container that almost looks like a garbage top that you spin the spin tops in, right? The Beyblades in. So they have got a paper plate, and they formed it up in a way so that it can be a stadium, and the Beyblades stay within the plate. And I was like, yo, man, this is like ingenious. I love the way you did this, man. Thought about this. But then my wife the next day buys them a stadium. I'm like, why in the world you buy them a stadium?
Yeah. Let them work for it, man.
Let them work, man. Let them do it, man. They were happy. They were happy with their invention, man. Let them move with it. So, yeah, dude, they are they're having fun, man, and they're enjoying life, and it's good seeing them develop and learn and grow with each other. So, yep. But yeah, Marlon, why don't you share with our new listeners and also our old listeners just some new things, or not new things, where they can find previous episodes.
All right. Hey, before I kick that out, I want to make people understand. Every time I wear one of these hats or a sweater that has this on, and they see this, everybody always says, "Yo, what's that logo?" Right? This is my company that had started way back in 2006. It stands for Madden and then Enterprise, right? So I have a Madden Enterprise LLC. So these are some of the stuff that, we're going to be even putting on our website for paraphernalia to try to raise some funds for the show in order to propel us to do some other things. So I know people always ask me that question, but if you're a first-time listener or you are a recurring listener, you know where to find us, or I can tell you where to find us. TheSuccessJourneyShow.com is the name of our website. And on there, you'll see that our name on Facebook and Instagram is Success Journey Show. On Twitter is Success_show. YouTube, I want everyone to go to YouTube, like, subscribe, and also leave some comments and some thumbs up on our previous videos. Our name on YouTube is The Success Journey Show. and you can find all our content there, or majority of our content there that we had done video. And if there's any platform that you can go on for podcasts and you cannot find us, let us know and we'll get you one of our shirts. We're wearing the shirts right now: Dream, Drive, Diligence, and Discipline. Those are the quad Ds that we say that with those quad Ds, we believe that you can be successful in any area of life.
Correct. Yeah, right. Absolutely. And also shout out to one of our previous guests, Renee Montgomery, her recent accomplishments. We'll share that, Marlon. Yeah.
Yes. So everyone knows it's today. It's all. I don't like doing a month for people, but because we're in the month and it's Women's Month, they're highlighting some. And last month was Black History Month, but we're proud of this young lady. We don't know her so I'm not going to front like we know her, but we did do an interview with her, and we're really tight with her manager. That's PG Sport. You know who you are there, Paul. Renee Montgomery, she was a player for the Atlanta Dream. And when they when they were going to the bubble and everything, and they were thinking about, and the stuff happened with the guy in, I think it was Louisville, where he got shot in his back, he decided that she wasn't going to play, just to make a stand for awareness and injustice. And she did that. And from that, when we spoke to her, there was some things that she was trying to accomplish in her life even before all that, the corona and everything. She was doing the acting. She made the decision. A lot of the females, they go, or WNBA players, they go to Europe to make their money, actually, because as we know, there's a disparity that they're trying to work on between the male players and the female players. And a lot of the women and she decided not to go to Europe that 1 year so there's a lot of things that she sacrificed. And because of the sacrifice that she did, it ended up that she became a part owner of the team that she used to play for.
That's
and
phenomenal.
Also, and she's have an executive position there too. So
Atlanta Dreams.
It's sky's the limit, and we're real proud of her for what she's doing. And and she also she's a part owner of Fan Control Football, FCF. If you want to check that out, you could definitely check that out. Fan Control Football. I'm also a part owner of that too. The great thing that I bought in the ground level when they're just starting. So Marshawn Lynch, her, Quavo, and then we have us as the other investors that are on that team. So shout out to Renee Montgomery for all the things you're doing, and keep pushing it, because people are watching you, and because of you, other females and girls, little girls are saying, "Hey, I can attain all those heights that you just did."
And if you want to go back and listen to our episode 26, when me and Marlon did one of our live shows, flew down or drove down to Charlotte. Man,
the backstory behind that.
We should. Sit down. And we'll let that all out there. But go check it out, episode 26. But go follow her on her platforms and support her for what she's doing. So travelers, we are here at this great point of our show, what we all been anticipating. And like we always promise every single week, we have a great guest that's coming to you today. And it's none other than Jordan Durago. Jordan, what's going on, brother? How are you today?
What's up, Ricky? Man, it's a beautiful day today. It's early March, nice, right at the beginning of spring.
Yes, sir.
I'm a teacher, so we're getting that little spring fever, and I live in New York, so it's like we're kind of done with the snow and everything. And
you guys got hit hard, man.
It is, man. Me and Ricky, for those who don't know, me and Ricky go way back. We go like 20 years back from knowing each other. We used to work together at Marist College Upward Bound program, so it was a very special experience. And actually, I look back on my life, and it was an awesome time of just being with awesome people. And Ricky was such an awesome example of that. And we recently got reconnected within the past year. And then, and here's where I'm at. So we never thought of this, even like 2 or 3 years ago, man. So.
It's crazy, man. As you start saying that, 20 years, I'm like, man, 20 years is like, someone said it a couple last week. He was saying, it was a long time ago, 20 years. And I'm just like, man, 20 years, man. I'm still almost an adult at 20 years. Yeah.
We're old, man. I just turned 35 and getting those the gray hairs and everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of those. So I'm trying to get actually first time, this is maybe TMI, but first time this week trying to get rid of some of the gray hairs in me just so I look younger. Like, I can't be having this, man.
Man, did you do the dye, man? You did the dye, man? You were touching it up with the dye or did you do shaving? How'd you do it, man?
It was the what is
Tweezers.
it called? The Madison Reed stuff. So you hear them all on podcasts and everything. I was like, let me try this. I see some gray hairs in my beard and it didn't really do anything though. Like I was like, I think they're blonde hairs. I don't know.
Nah, they're not blonde, man. They're gray. Trying to make yourself feel better.
My mom said they're blonde. My mom said they're blonde.
Yeah.
Mom knows best.
Yeah. But man, Jordan, man, why don't you just walk with our travelers, man. That's what our listeners, man, we call them travelers because not only are we on our journey to success, but they're on their, relative journeys. And, we always just try to bring guests on to share, just your story. You mentioned, man, even up to 2 years ago, we would never thought that we would be connecting like this, and, going back to 20 years and just how life has transformed for you over the years, man, why don't you start breaking it down a little bit to us and start at a point where maybe right after we met or whatever it may have been, and then up to as you're going through these most recent years.
Yeah, man. Oh, where do I start? I feel like so much has happened and thinking back 20 years, so going into when I kind of first met you, Ricky, I was this, I would describe myself as this shy, dedicated, hardworking, but just kind of figuring out life and what my purpose is and kind of just navigating through and trying to step by step figure out where I'm moving forward. Yeah. And it's looking back, it was just, I felt like I was a baby, just like a kid, and I'm so, like I said, I was a teacher before, and I work with kids, but I even think people under 25 years old are kids. Like you're just, you're still kind of you're not thinking with those frontal lobes yet, man. You're not taking that rational thinking. And so it's so when I kind of first met you, it was, it was a time in my life where also I was very driven, very dedicated. I'm still am, but just very let's say I viewed life like a scoreboard. I'm big into sports, huge into sports. Like I played college basketball, coached college basketball and athletics and sports and competition and living a life of growth was just a huge part of my life. And I wanted more wins than losses in my life. And I defined my success as a human being is by having more wins than losses. So I don't want any losses on my scoreboard. And then as I kind of ventured through life in the past 20 years, kind of realizing wow. it's flipped the script for sure. Oh man, I'm the New York Jets right now. That's where I'm at.
Man, it's funny you say that because as you're talking, memories are flashing up in my mind, and I remember when we first met. I think I was in my early 20s or whatever it may have been, or late teens, early 20s. Yeah. And I remember, the gym at Marist was closed down or something like that. And I was sitting there making excuses like, I can't work out. The gym is closed down or whatever.
Yeah.
But it seemed like you were always coming from somewhere. I didn't know where you was coming from. I couldn't remember. I remember asking, I was like, where are you? Oh yeah, I go to Planet Fitness, man. And it was right down the street. And I was like, oh man, I didn't even think about going. He was like, yeah, go there. It was like every morning you were going there. Like this whole time I'm sitting there thinking, man, I want to work out. I didn't even think about Planet Fitness, but talk about your dedication and your competitiveness. But you didn't even talk about it like that unless someone said something to you. You were very quiet about it. It was just like, man, he's sitting there holding out on us, man, over there working out.
Silent killer.
I was super shy, man. And kind of what was awesome about you and everybody at the Upward Bound program, they made me feel like family, man. It was like a special experience where I just feel like I could be myself around you guys. And maybe I didn't really feel like that growing up at my high school, but like, I think I was like, when I worked with you, it was like, right around late teens, like in my college years for sure.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I was probably playing college basketball at the time. So I wanted to make sure I was on top of things. So
yeah.
Oh man, I look back, man. Like I remember we worked out at Planet Fitness together.
We did. Yeah. You mentioned that. I was like, all right, I'll go with you next time. And I remember, man, you put the weights on and you were doing all these high reps. I was like, dang, man, this guy, he ain't playing, man. And he's very modest about it. You go to the gym, man, you have those guys that are like, throw everything on there, man. I'm pumping it loud about it. Jordan was over there. Oh, no, let's put that on there. Yeah, okay, yep. And just, just repping it out. I was like, man, I'm tired, man. This guy.
You know why, Ricky? Yeah. You know why?
Why is that?
We don't want that lunk alarm going off.
I know. There we go.
Yeah.
You don't want. I've had it go off on me a couple of times.
Oh,
not
really?
For yelling, though.
Oh man.
Just for dropping weight.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Planet Fitness is funny, man. That's if you ever talk about an oxymoron, you talk about Planet Fitness.
No judgment, right? Why you gotta judge the guys that drop the weights?
Yeah.
God forbid if you blow out a shoulder, you can't drop those weights.
Yeah, right? Oh, my goodness, man. Planet Fitness. And they always have their pizza day and Tootsie Rolls up front,
Oh, yeah. And pizza.
Pizza, yeah. But, yeah, so, you're going through and, you're finishing up school and you want to go into the teacher route, Tell us what that experience was. Just deciding to be a teacher, one, and then two, starting your teaching career. Yeah.
So growing up in grade school and everything, my teachers have been such an awesome influence on me. And they just have been awesome role models. They've motivated me. They pushed me. And in a way where it took me to different levels. And I always looked back and appreciated that. And it started off in middle school where I had this teacher named Mr. Haidar, and he would go in there. He's a social studies teacher, so he would have these crazy stories, and he would have all these masks from different cultures right all around the room, like looking and staring at you. Like I felt like I was like on trial every day, like just looking at that and just being intimidated. But he also pushed me in a way, like he set the bar for like, hey, this is what you have to do to be successful moving forward. You reach the bar or you sink, kind of thing. And so I took that as a challenge. I'm like, okay, I gotta get up to this man's bar if I want to be successful moving forward. And that kind of set the foundation. Looking back, that's the foundation for my teaching style now. And so
you got the mask all over the rooms.
Yes. He called me Mr. Jordan. Like it was so like unique, and I could just remember everything little by little. And then as I moved into high school, I had some awesome teachers. Like my JV basketball coach, he was like 25 at the time, I think, when he was coaching me. His name was Mr. Lapola, and I looked at him and I was like, man, like this guy's a cool guy. He's a basketball coach, and I kind of connect with him. And like, I could see myself being like this guy, So those seeds were planted early on. And then as I kind of got into my senior year, I was like, all right, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a math teacher. I'm going to come back to the district I work at or go to and teach math here. And that vision was in my head, and I kept that vision in my head through college. And college was like a different story. Like I had to major in mathematics, which is not fun. I'm not the smartest individual. I got through school a lot through mostly for my hard work and my consistency. And so like some of the math I learned up there, I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's crazy. But
did you ever learn, you ever take abstract algebra?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to find people that have taken that have been through that torture, man.
Yeah.
That's one class out of two of the classes I've ever took in my college career. Abstract algebra.
Algebra is already abstract.
Nah, man, it's some next level stuff, man. I knew as much going into that class as I did on the last day. That was one of those those classes. I was like, man. I
had a couple of those too. Man.
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know what's going on here. Lucky to survive.
Take a class on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Still don't know how to solve it. So don't ask me how I was able to get through that. Don't ask me how I was able to get through that.
Twist, turn. Twist, turn.
It's algorithms. It's all algorithms. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Paste.
But luckily in college, I had the basketball to kind of bounce off of me, not always just being so super anxious and paranoid about my math grades. So I had that to kind of think about. So it was, So then after college, so I played basketball for 4 years at Elizabethtown College. It's a small private school near Hershey, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. The year before I got there, they made the Division III national championship. Okay. And so I was like, you know what? This is an awesome college. They were the second best education school in the Northeast. And I was like, all right, let me, I liked it here. So, again, it felt like I was at home when I was there. Like I'm big on fields. Like when I go there, like I feel like this magnet for me to go there. So went there, played basketball. By my senior year, we were 25th in the nation. We didn't make the national championship, but we made it the second highest as that the school has been in a while. So it was an awesome experience doing that. And then I got the degree, and then I started teaching at 22 years old at the school, at my high school that I went to. Like, everything that I envisioned, it was like, boom, happening. And so, but my first year teaching, I was 22 years old teaching seniors.
Oh man. Yeah. And as a former basketball player, and I'm quite sure these high school students weren't only interested in learning mathematics. They say they can relate to you. Like, oh man, he's young. You know, that's that right there. And then so you got that challenge and that dynamic, and then trying to get seniors to learn.
Right. And it wasn't like a serious math class. It was like one of the math classes that you needed a third math credit to graduate or whatever.
That's even worse.
And so it's project based. And here I am trying to change the world my first year teaching. I'm giving all these kids homework, and they're like, you're giving us homework? It's our senior year. I'm like, yeah, I am. But looking back, as torturous that year was, it made me into a better teacher in the future. And so So then, I don't know how deep you want me to go. I did 9 years at the high school.
Yeah.
And then I got moved down to the middle school. Now I'm teaching 8th grade math. And I love it. I love the 8th graders. I love just the energy, it's something new every day. You can be a cornball and they'll laugh still. Like I feel like at high school,
Like
corny
man. You're seniors. You're like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you've done your best shows of senior, and they're like,
crickets, Marlon. Be throwing these math jokes out. Oh man.
Yeah.
Now I'm making YouTube tutorial videos and I have this catchphrase at the end. I'm like, whether you're solving for X or Y, always give math a try. And so like the kids love it, but like if I did that to high school, like who's this jabroni?
Right.
Hey, Jordan, with you alluded to it at the beginning. You're coming out of college. You have that fire within your belly to go in and change the kids and help them to see how important everything is with school and everything. And then you get there, and you're already saying you're competitive and you like to put wins on the board. You want to hear about some of what did you learn that the L's that you had to take to get that learning factor to say, oh my goodness, it's going to be a different environment here. What were some of those L's that you took with that fire that you had and the approach you took, and you're like, yeah, wow.
Well,
different.
Some of the L's I took were first realizing not everybody's like me. Like not everybody thinks like me. Not everybody, and it was a painful process doing that. And I was trying to force too hard onto the kids. And I don't think that was very, well, looking back, I mean, it was my first year teaching. So I kind of look back and say like,
lesson learned.
Like one of the mottos is you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So And maybe I learned that like teaching has evolved too. I'll be honest with you. This is my 13th, 14th year teaching. When I was in school, it's like I was saying with Mr. Haidar did, here's the bar, you're going to reach it or you're not going to make it. Now it's more,
you move the bar with the student. You move the bar with the student.
So, it's like, yes,
like your bar is here, your bar is there.
Like, oh, here we go. But and I tried to be the old school mentality, and for some kids that works, but not the clientele I was working with that year. So I learned that, like, the L that I learned was like my approach: humble yourself first of all. Okay, you're this kid who just got out of college and it was in a basketball program, and you think like your stuff doesn't stink, and so you're going to change the world. And so just humble yourself pretty much was the message I got from my first year.
So Jordan, take us now to, I know, basketball was your thing in college and everything, but you stayed fit, man. You stayed in that mindset, physical fitness and everything.
Yeah.
Talk about your journey along that. I want you to get to the story of your aspirations to be a wrestler.
Here we go. Now you're talking.
Hold on. When you say a wrestler, you mean like WWF, WWE?
Yeah. Mom, you know about that stuff, man?
Of course.
All right. We're gonna take a little journey here now. This is gonna be a journey.
I'll the Sting. I don't know if you remember. I'll Sting.
Jake the Snake.
Ultimate
Warrior. Yeah.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hacksaw Jim Duggins.
Yeah. Sting just wrestled last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still going, man. He's
like 60 years old, man.
Sting.
Oh wow, he was a G too, man.
You're looking good, man. So physical fitness always. So after my last game of basketball, I said I'm in the best shape of my life, and I don't want to drop. Like I want to either stay here or improve, and I got to figure out something to stay in shape. So I really gravitated towards the weight room, and so I started doing that. And then when I started teaching, I mean, I was still lifting and stuff, and but I wasn't really following a program. I was just like thinking. I was just freestyling it, and pretty much just seeing how things. Just watching YouTube and kind of figuring out on my own, which is not the best approach. You need to kind of follow a program. or get certified and know what to do kind of thing. So I kind of ventured through that. And I was also coaching basketball. I coached basketball for 8 years. So I was kind of learning like agility drills with that too, that I didn't know in kind of like college and high school. So I wanted also to be like an example for kids. Like, hey, if I'm going to be an effective coach, I got to back up what I'm doing. And I feel, and plus the pride side of me wants to beat all the kids all the time too. If I'm playing with the kids,
you go
these bows, they're not going down.
Yeah. I remember the student staff game, man.
Yes.
We held it down. Yeah.
Those are some of the funnest times ever. And some of the most intense times, man.
Yeah.
And so I got really passionate into that. And then just like you guys, I was always grew up a wrestling fan, and there was something about it that I was just like, you know what, like, and I still watched it, and it was not so much. It was more like for the entertainment, for the athleticism and everything. And every single time I go to a show or people would see me at the gym, they would say, "Are you a wrestler?" Like, so they were planting those seeds in my head, and I was like, "No, not a wrestler." But they kept planting those seeds, and then it didn't come until I turned 31 years old. I don't know why. Maybe that's another journey. Waited until 31 years old, and then I was like, you know what? Like at the time, it was the summer, so I had nothing to do over the summer. I was single, no pets, no responsibilities, no kids, no nothing. I was like, you know what? Let's give this a shot. Let's go give it a shot. Saw an ad. Do you remember the Dudley Boys?
I don't remember them.
The Dudley Boys. All right. So they were this tag team, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, I would say. So they're in actually the WWE Hall of Fame. And so
I have to go to see them.
Yeah. So it was they had a school in Danbury, and man, that was. Those when people say wrestling's fake, I would wake up with bruises and just pains and all over my body, and just like you're training your body to be a callous and being used to pain. And so I only could withstand that for 4 months. Plus my mentality was, I was like, all right, I'm going to come in here. We're going to train for a couple months. I'm going to have a couple shows and then I can get this out of my system. It wasn't a long-term plan. It was that, but they wanted to train you for the WWE. So I was just like, oh boy, here we go. And it's like, and it's a couple of years. It's like getting a degree. That's what it is. Like, cause you don't want to kill the person. Like there's so many scenarios where you're slamming somebody, you could really mess with, hurt somebody. So they want to make sure that you got everything down before moving on to the next level. And so I kind of did a self-assessment. I'm like, man, I'm waking up teaching the school just like lopsided, and the kids are like, what's going on? Like I was like, I can't. Teaching is too important to me. Kind of just like, and I can't do this, but I had the perfect gimmick though. I was going to be the mathematician, like MC Square. I was going to be the evil math teacher that gives detentions out to the ring. I was going to diss the fans for not knowing their times tables or not knowing how to reduce fractions. And I was going to say my finishing move was the factorial, and just like, I had it all planned out. Man. I will say though, out of that experience, I met my best friend from that. And like, if I were gonna get married today, he would be like my best man in my wedding. So I look back and that was the silver lining.
I thought you were gonna say like, "Yo, that's my best friend. If I was gonna get married, it was gonna be to him."
No. So,
no, man. Yeah, man. When you shared that with me, when we caught back up, I was like, man, he has to share that, because a lot of people have those dreams and aspirations to do something, and it's not until they actually get the real taste of what it is till they able to decide, like, nah, this maybe not this may not be for me, at this time, but you don't look at it as a loss. You look at it as, hey, I tried, and when we're on our journey, travelers, there's going to be a lot of things that you try. And I hope that you explore, because you would have been now 35 years old, man, I wish I would have tried to be it. I wish I would have went out there and wore the tight pants, and the boots. I wish.
With the fractures on it. With the fractures on it,
I wish, but now you can say, hey, I did it and it's behind me. But you kind of transition from that, and you started doing, you remember you sharing with me doing a lot of Spartan races and building a group of people and doing fitness programs and stuff. Why don't you share a little bit of that, man?
Yeah. So we'll kind of backtrack a little bit. So
go ahead.
We'll say so when I start off with the podcast saying everything I envisioned, I accomplished, and that rang true for the first, I would say 25, 26 years of my life. Then I got to a point where I experienced a lot of loss. Now, my loss and my rock bottom is different from everybody's rock bottom. I understand, my rock bottom though was rock bottom for me, maybe not rock bottom for somebody else. So right around 25, 26 years old, I was experiencing loss after loss after loss. I had a broken relationship, which was devastating for me, because I had my first girlfriend at 25 years old. I was a little late bloomer because I was shy growing up. So that didn't work out. And then the basketball job that I wanted didn't work out. And then things at school were not going well. I was getting frustrated and jaded of always trying to kind of push these kids and force them to setting the bar, and they're not reaching the bar. And so it just became this life of just I felt loss after loss after loss. And I felt I was all right, there's got to be something out there that's in control of things, because to that point in my life, I always believed I controlled everything I did. And all the things in my life that happened to me were a result of what I did and in my efforts. And so that kind of got me to a point of being lost and unsure and looking for answers. And that's where I kind of walked into a journey of discovering faith. And so my mom and I, we went to, we toured a bunch of churches and kind of see Christian churches and see which one kind of just I felt led to. And I found this one church, and it kind of just, drew closer to that church. And it was like this supernatural magnet, calling me there. And, and so I started going, and my mom started going, and we were just getting super into it. And then I started getting involved, and it got to a point where I shifted my whole perspective on life. I think me being a math teacher, and can be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm very black and white. And there's not a lot of gray in my life, but I'm trying to work on that. That's something I'm trying to
on your face. You have some gray.
You're right.
Your hair.
This. Guys, there can't be no gray. That's why, man, Ricky, you just connecting all the dots, man. It's
that's what we do on the Success Journey show, man. That's what we do here, man.
So I got to a point where I was having the wrong priorities in my life. My life was very self-centered, very me, very pride-driven, very controlling. And not that I was like a super controlling evil person. And if you ask people oh, Jordan, he's but for me, looking back, I was maybe internally more controlling and trying to control every bit of my life. And it's exhausting when you think you can control every single aspect of your life and what happens in your life. So I got to a point where gave my life to Christ in 2013. And and it's been that's where the journey really began. That's where it's okay, now it's kind of shifting more so. Life's not about me. Life is about loving others and loving God. That's the mantra of my life. And And so it became more prioritizing relationships rather than anything else. And so like, and when I was trying to think about like coming on this podcast, I'm like, oh, it's a success journey podcast. Like, I'm like, what do I define as success? And I feel like success is just very subjective. Like what's my definition for success in my life is not so much how much money I make. It's not how fit I look. It's not how I perform in the gym or how good my test scores are with my kids. It's more so on making a positive impact on my students' lives. So I wanted to start doing that, but then I also wanted to do that with my church, and kind of I wanted God to use me in a way where I was just feeling like I was fulfilling my purpose. So like Ricky was saying, man, like I was very just into like fitness and doing Spartan races. And I was like, you know what? It's kind of time for me to kind of serve this higher purpose and use the gifts I've been given to serve other people. So I said, I'm going to start a fitness ministry. And like, and this is what I'm saying in my head. And then people always ask me, what's a fitness ministry? I was like, well, so what I was going to do, or what I did do is I got certified. I got a fitness certification to be a group fitness instructor. And I wanted to train people from my church and just help them live the best life they can in a health and wellness perspective, and also surround people with awesome community and being able to connect with a good church, because I'll be honest, it's hard to find a good church in the Northeast. It's hard to find that. And I did not grow up a churchy person. I didn't believe in a God till I was 26, 27 years old. So I the whole prototypical church thing, or church people, I just got turned off by. And so I was like, I want the people to see the church as people that prioritize love, and you feel like you're at home and you feel like you could be yourself, and you don't have to put on this facade of what you think it should be. So, and I try to bleed that out in my own life and just be myself and use God and let the Spirit work in me to get to people and use that as a tool as well. So, so I started, so I got this fitness certification. The first thing I did is all right, I'm going to train a bunch of people and we're just going to do group fitness workouts. And then that kind of evolved into, okay, let's train for a Spartan race. So I trained a group of people and we all ran a Spartan race, and had a bunch of people who never ran a Spartan race before running it together. And it's so much more fun running it together as a team, because it's so awesome seeing just others accomplish and be able to push themselves to levels that they never thought they could. So, and that was fueling me. And I was like, this is awesome. And I was getting fueled. And I feel like it was just, it was filling this hole in my life, this void in my life where, not just the fitness, but just my relationship with God was filling the voids in my life where, I didn't think he could, kind of thing. Yeah. So we did that, and then we evolved into hiking, and then evolved into kayaking, did an MMA class, and it's kind of just evolved into this thing where it was very, it was just very unique scenario, and it was just so awesome to do that. Yeah. So I look back on that, and it was just like a really special time in my life, and I've grown some friendships out of that I still have to this day, and I still talk to people from that, and it's just been a blessing for me and blessing for other people. So. Yeah. It's been a wild ride, and then COVID hit. So that's
you're back in isolation. Man, I'm so grateful, man, you're able to come in and share your story. Your story is unique in the sense that, what I love, the common thing that I'm hearing you say is looking for that home feeling. I want to feel like I'm at home. I want to feel like I'm with people that will embrace me and love me, and that is a testament to the community nature that you had, as a human being, and everything that you do and everyone that you encounter, that's the kind of things that radiates from you. Like, hey, I just want to be a loving person. I just want to let you feel when you're in my presence to feel as though you're at home. And I really enjoy that, man. I really enjoy hearing that from you, because we need more of that in this world, man. A lot of people are in isolation. A lot of people can't find that home base of community to go to, whether it's church, whether it's fitness, whether it's school, whatever it may be, programs. They just that taste of home is missing.
Right.
So injecting people in this world that provide that and provide that space, man, is phenomenal. And then also the second thing, travelers, I want you to get from here is just, like Jordan said, he was going on a path and he was struggling. He was struggling on that path because at one point, everything that he wanted it wasn't happening. Things that he was looking forward to, and he starts seeing his rock bottom because it was going against what his vision of his future is supposed to look like. And we can all attest to that, and we can builds up frustration, that builds up insecurities, and all those things. So I just want you to let you know that, really appreciate your story, man. I really appreciate you coming on and just sharing us a little bit about yourself, man. I'm really excited about, your opportunity you get to work with people in the fitness area. And man, I've been hitting you up, man, for some fitness coaching, man, some virtual fitness coaching, man. We got
yeah, man.
I got to make something happen, man.
If you're back up here, I got the home gym set up now. So.
No, I'm not back up there, man. That's not happening.
Sure, you can drop those weights. No alarm in my house. So, my neighbors might get mad, but that's about it.
That's about it. Yeah. But man, we really appreciate you coming on and sharing. And one question that I would like to ask you, that we ask many of our guests as we get towards the end, is, knowing what you know now, the experiences that you've gone through in your journey, what would you have told that 18-year-old Jordan that is, like, hey, I'm getting ready to embark into this world, go to college, play basketball, whatever it may be. You have 1 minute to talk to him, pull him aside right before he walked on his college campus. What would you say to him?
Ricky, man, like, I look back, you know what? So like, I'm so, I don't know, like, so I'm trying to think of how, I know my answer, but I'm trying to articulate it. It's just, I wouldn't want to go back and talk to myself and say something that could change the future. I'm a firm believer that everything is happening the way they're supposed to happen.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I view life moving forward, as opposed to having these things where I want to attain. I kind of just say, I trust God that's going to guide my steps and everything. So I would not want to go back and say anything to myself, because I would not want to change anything or make me double think something or something like that, because then I would be kind of like messing with God's plan for me. That's how I would feel like. And so, because somebody asked me this recently, what do you want to achieve in 5 years? I was like, I don't know. Like I could say what I want, but I wouldn't want to pigeonhole God and kind of what he has for my life, because of the fact that I was able to be a wrestler and do that. And if you asked me that 5 years before then, I would have never thought that would have happened. So I'm a firm believer on that. There is a plan, a predestined plan for all of us. And there's this loving Father out there who has our back and who loves us to a degree that we could never understand. We could never understand this on this earth. And there's this plan for all of us. And I feel like I went through 26, 27 years of my life trying to control that plan. Now I've gone the black and white side of it, the other side of it, and saying he's got full control of everything. And I'm just going to ride the surfboard of life.
Oh man, I like that. Ride the surfboard of life. Yeah. Well, guys, listen, we come to the end of another show, and we really want to thank Jordan for taking some time with us today and just sharing his journey. Listen, everyone, is there any way do you do any? I know at one point you were doing a lot of vlogging on wrestling and things of that nature. Is there any type of social media or whatever you want to share with the travelers that they may be able to follow you on, or? Okay if you don't, but
you know what? I'll be honest with you. So I've been kind of trying to filter out social media from my life.
Love it. Yeah.
I deleted Facebook last year, which was a huge step. Yeah. So, and also too, my church asked me to be a social media influencer at the beginning of COVID, which was an awesome experience. But looking back, I just saw just how social media was consuming me, especially in a time of isolation where I live by myself. I'm trying to kind of filter it out of my life, but if you want, you can share my email address.
Okay.
And if anybody's interested, or if anybody wants to get in touch with you or want to kind of get in contact with me, you can kind of share them my email address.
That sounds good. We'll do that, man. Perfect. Appreciate it. Well, travelers, we come to the end of another show. Check us out on the successjourneyshow.com for all of our previous episodes and what's upcoming. We will see you guys next week at the same time in the same place on the Success Journey Show. Everyone have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to The Success Journey Show, where your dreams, drive, determination, and diligence are the foundation to success. For more information, check out thesuccessjourneyshow.com. The Journey Squad is here helping you to your destination.